welcome back to another episode from Pale Horse Survival and Tactical. I'm Bill, glad you could join me. Today I'm relaxing in my new snow camp and going to cook a piece of a chunk of salmon fillet on the coals primitively as soon as the fire burns down. So that's pretty much all this episode consists of. And the fire feels good out here. Stay tuned. Alright, we have a good roaring fire going. So we're going to let this burn for a while, and then we're going to let it burn down to coals, a good hot bed of coals. And that's what we're going to cook the salmon fillet on. So when that gets to that point and I'm ready to, pretty close to popping it on there, I'll fade back here. So stay tuned. Alright, we're ready to start cooking this dude. I got a nice big fat salmon fillet. I do most of my primitive cooking right on the coals. Just gonna throw that dude right on there like that. As soon as that burns down, that's a nice hot spot there. I'm going to throw it over there. Pull my bowl out here. See how this is doing. This is what we have. That's a pretty high moisture content in that snow. I packed it. It's a little over half, so that's probably about 60% moisture content. That's not bad. So what we're going to do is, see if I get a little bit of debris out of here. Fir needles in here. Make some fir needle tea. Slide that back on the coals and let it steep for a while. We don't want to boil it. Boiling destroys medicinal constituents in there, vitamins. Usually vitamin C is the first to go. Sometimes I'll mix pine. I just don't have any pine nearby here, but I have the cedar. cedar it is. It won't take long for that. We're going to flip it several times. It won't take long for that salmon to cook. When you do fish like this, scale them, but leave the skin on. You can even do it whole body, because the skin will help hold the fish together, the flesh. Don't worry about that little bit of ash and charcoal. You can knock that off, and the little bit that you eat is actually medicinal. Charcoal absorbs toxins in the digestive tract, has a lot of medicinal uses. And ash has a lot of minerals, calcium, iron, manganese, to name a few. Primitive man was a lot more robust than we are today, because the diets primarily, we weren't exposed to all the toxins. Let me go grab my cup. Cup over here for later. Tea is ready. Fire burning it to a crisp. As you know, fish is done when it starts flaking apart. And cooking in this manner imparts a real nice smoke flavor to the meat. As long as you keep flipping it, I've never burnt any food cooking in this manner. As long as you keep flipping it back and forth. We're going to flip that again here in just a bit. I have cookware for camping, but I never use it. Not knocking anybody who does. I just travel pretty light. I have my canteen cup I use. I can cook in that if I have to. And it's good for water purification. It's military stainless steel, and I have the canteen over there. And I can boil and purify water in either one of those. But as far as cooking, I prefer to keep it pretty basic. This isn't going to take long, guys. It's a pretty thick piece, so I want to make sure it's done. keeps following me. Funny how that happens. It'll be back over here shortly. See, here it comes. And coming right back at me. I'll move over here. Oh, that smells good. If you've never had food cooked on the coals, you don't know what you're missing. Steak, fish, any type of meat really. You can do potatoes. You can even cook an egg in the coals. You have to keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. So here comes the smoke again. Somehow it knows. I always use my pinky. I'll stick it in the meat, and if it's too hot for my pinky to stay in contact, it's usually around 160 or above. Meat needs to be wild game, 170, 180. So that's always my test. If it's too hot for my pinky to go on there, it's my pinky thermometer. I've always done that, and throughout the years, and I haven't managed to poison myself yet, so I must be doing something right. Holy crap, that smells good. You just keep flip-flopping it every 3-4 minutes, and that way you get more. If you have a good bed of coals, you get pretty even heating that way. I've had people chastise me for cooking like this and saying it's not even, but if you get a good bed of coals, it's even heat. I've never had a problem with it myself. I'm using my bowl to put my knee on so I don't get a wet knee here in the snow. We're getting there. Oh yeah. Starting to steam. We'll do about 2-3 minutes on this side, and we're going to flip it, and then we're going to check the interior. And I'm hungry. It's 2 o'clock. See how it's shrinking now too, so that's always a sign it's cooking. Got some wind kicking up here on the mountains. So it looks like this is going to be my new camp for the winter when I'm able to get up here, weather permitting. My usual camp is currently underneath about 7 or 8 foot of snow, and is not accessible at all. So this is going to be the, looks like this will be the new camp for a while. We have a lot more snow that we're supposed to get. More storms coming in. It's supposed to snow all next week. Probably drop, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another 3 to 5 foot of snow up here. We could wind up, we're only like 7 weeks into the rainy season. We've got walloped pretty good this year, so, which is good. We need the water and the snow. Seems like it's one extreme or the next. It's either dry as a bone or we're doing the backstroke. We'll probably, if it keeps up like this, we got another 3 months of rain and snow ahead. If it remains consistent, we could wind up with an 18 to 20 foot snowpack. That's huge. So if we get that, I won't be able to get into my usual base camp till probably April or May at least. So this is going to be my new spot up here. I have abundant resources around here. A lot of fuel, down trees. I've got oak, cedar, pine. So I'm sitting pretty good in that aspect. See how it's splitting open now. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. Still not there yet. It's not hot enough, but give that about another 3-4 minutes and we'll flip it again. It's getting close though. I'm thinking probably another, I want to make sure it's done, so we're looking at probably about 8 minutes maybe. I don't think 10, maybe 10, but I doubt it. I'm just going to go ahead and let the camera keep rolling on this, and then when it's done I'll put it in the bowl, and then you guys could watch me tearing into this. Pretty hungry. It's 2:02 right now. Actually, it hasn't been on the fire very long. 5 minutes maybe, I think. Yeah, it's starting to split open, so it's getting there. Yeah, the trick is you want to have a pretty decent bed of coals, at least a couple inches thick. It's absolutely beautiful up here. I missed the cold, and it was a hot summer, brutally hot. I don't like hot weather. I do better in the cold than I do the heat. The heat just sucks the life out of me. I was running around getting firewood and harvesting dead wood, mostly dead lower branches, to get this fire going, and I had to take my hoodie off, and I'm actually real comfortable out here. I usually run around in short sleeves in the wintertime. Let's pop this dude back over again. Get him down here on these hot coals over here. It's a nice hot area up here in the back too. I might pop him up on there. That's doing pretty good there. God, that smells so good. Stomach's growling. Yeah, you can do corn on the cob, potatoes. If you do eggs, you stick them down in the coals, and you want to keep a real close eye on them so you don't burn them to a crisp. But you don't have to boil eggs to make boiled eggs. You can cook them right in the coals, and they'll come out just looking like boiled eggs. Just be careful not to, you want to peck a little hole in the shell so they don't explode. Down on the pointy end or whatever, you just take and peck a little tiny hole in there. That releases the pressure, otherwise you're going to make an egg bomb. Yeah, we're getting close. 5 more minutes maybe. Yeah, this gives it a real nice smoked, charred barbecue flavor. It's really, really good. All meats that I've done like this have really come out great. And I've done just about everything in this manner. Fish, just scale them, clean them, gut them, clean them. Don't even cut the head off. And just lay it on the coals. And you can take a stick, shove it in the mouth, and use that to flip-flop it back and forth. And you'll know when it's done. It'll start splitting apart, flaking on you. Not there yet, but we're getting there. Let's take this guy and show him this hot area here. Oh yeah, we're getting real close. Yeah, we're getting close. Having a meal like this out in the middle of the woods, cooked primitively, I mean it's just everything just complements one another perfectly. You can hear that juice dripping off. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. Sounds just like a barbecue. Branch out of my way here. Keep tripping over it. Just knock the charcoal off. It's not going to hurt you at all. The little bit that you eat. Yeah, we're getting there. You're cooking wild. You cook wild game like this, you want to make sure it's well done so you don't wind up with any parasites, trichinosis. So it's always good to go for well done than not enough. I got an episode on the channel where I cooked a Cornish game hen in a pit with hot rocks, and that really came out. That was unbelievable. It was so moist, really good. I just enjoy, I don't really carry any cookware. I mean, you're looking at most of it over here. Generally, I don't. I just enjoy the primitive aspect of it. This is coming along nicely here. We're getting steam. Flip this in a bit. We're going to have a look at the interior. It's falling apart. That's a good sign. Give it a little bit longer. Steaming pretty good. We'll get a little bit hotter. Here it's steaming here, sizzling. Looks good. It's fat underneath the skin. Look at that skin. Nice and crispy. Golden brown. Just a little bit of char to it. Really good stuff. My God, that's incredible. Wow. That's really good. How juicy that is. That smoke flavor. It's starting to fall apart. I think we're probably... Oh yeah, this is done right here. Whoop. Oh yeah, that's definitely done. We'll leave that skin. It's delicious. This piece needs a little bit more. I'm going to roll that right over here. Right up there in that heat, that hot spot. Look how tender that is. Juicy. I mean, it just falls apart. Oh my God. I'm telling you guys, that smoke flavor. I'm going to go ahead and start enjoying this while that last piece is finishing up. Totally moist. incredible. Excellent meal out here in the forest. Wow. And this is done. Smoke in the eyes. Oh yeah. Absolutely delicious. I think that took about 15 minutes to cook. That's not too bad. It's going to take me a bit to get through that fillet. That's a lot of food. Enjoy some fir needle tea here in a bit. Wow. Amazing. I'm going to try and get up here on an overnighter. This seems to be a pretty good spot. A lot of down trees around here, as I mentioned earlier. So, a lot of fuel here. It's a larger tree down in the back. Pretty good size. Trunk. I could set up a tarp shelter or lean-to or something right next to that and use the trunk as a fire reflector. That way I don't have to build one. So I'll see if I can get up here. Hopefully February. We'll see what happens. My schedule's been nuts. Hopefully things are going to start slowing down a little bit. Putting in long work hours, and I've got a sore lower back right now. I'm feeling it sitting on the ground. Thought we had thunder It looked like a thunderhead coming this way. I was looking at it earlier, but I don't see it now, so it either changed directions or fell apart. Almost enough salmon here for 2 people. Seriously, if you've never cooked on the coals, try it. And like I said, that little bit of ash, you don't get much on the food, it really don't. And the little bits of charcoal, you can flick them off, but they're not going to hurt you any. Charcoal absorbs toxins as it travels through the digestive tract. It captures them so you can eliminate them. Hospitals use it for poisoning, food poisoning. Food poisoning being a gastrointestinal issue. They administer charcoal. You can do that in the wilds too. If you're camping, I'm getting full already. Salmon's got a lot of fat content to it, so it fills you up fast. I'm going to get all this down though. I'm not wasting it. You just take charcoal out of your fire. That's cool, obviously, the black charcoal, and crush it up. Mix it with water. You make a slurry out of it. You never put it in your mouth dry. It's toxic if you inhale the powdered charcoal into your lungs. A teaspoonful of powdered charcoal, 8 ounces of water. Down it. And chase it with another teaspoon and 8 ounces after 15, 20, 30 minutes. It'll go through, it'll soak all the toxins up and eliminate, it'll turn your poop black. That's how you know it's working, it's moving on through. But you want to make sure you drink a lot of water with that so you don't get constipated if you're going to do that. But you know, you can use that technique in the wilds if you happen to get a case of food poisoning. Absolutely incredible. I'm going to go ahead and cut the film, and I'll fade back in a little bit. I don't want to bore you guys to death. So stay tuned, I shall return. Well, found a good place to stash my tongs for the next cookout up here. There's one of the little stubs here when I was harvesting these dead lower branches for the fire. It's got 2 little nubs sticking out on both sides, so this fits right on here perfectly, and the wind won't blow it off. So it'll be up there, and I get it up nice and high so it'll be above the snow. So when I get up here next, I'll have my tongs waiting for me. Nature's cooking utensils. And this is from a incense cedar. It's just a fork. I flatten the insides out with the knife. That way you don't have to carry anything. Oh yeah. That was an outstanding meal. I'm stuffed. Been enjoying some fir needle tea. Wow, that's got a really good flavor. Different trees vary just a little bit within the same species. They vary just slightly in different levels of medicinal constituents and whatnot, and so each one has a little bit different flavor. This one that I harvested from really has a great flavor to it. And sitting here enjoying the fire, and got the fire kindled back up. So we talked about the charcoal, the ash now, and it's true ash contains lye. But you're not going to be eating a bunch of ash, and there's not a lot that gets on the food. Ash contains a lot of minerals, and I'll probably post up in this episode the list of minerals that it contains. So it's actually beneficial in small amounts. You don't want to sit there and eat a whole bunch of ash, obviously. It'd be toxic, but the little bit that gets on the food, it's not going to hurt you none. And it's actually nutritional. Well, I hope all of you enjoyed this episode as much as I did making it. Please like, subscribe, and share. I hope all of you are having an outstanding day or night, depending on where you're located, and I will see all of you very soon on the next one. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.